Ever stare at your to-do list so long, it starts to feel like it's judging you? Like, really? You've had email dentist on here since 2021? Yup, that's procrastination. We all do it. It's basically a human hobby at this point. Let's be real. If procrastination were an Olympic sport, most of us would have at least a bronze. And what do we do instead of working? Clean our keyboards with a toothpick, alphabetize spices, watch one video about penguins, and suddenly it's 2 a.m. But here's the catch. The more we avoid the thing, the more power it gains. It becomes this massive, scary monster with glowing red eyes. Spoiler alert, it's still just a task. You just gave it special effects. This video isn't about shaming you or giving you productivity guilt. Nope. It's about understanding the why behind procrastination, and then breaking the cycle with simple, sneaky, science-backed tricks that even your lazy alter ego will agree to. So, if you're someone who says, "I'll start tomorrow," and it's now next year, stick around. We're going to beat this thing together, with humor, with hacks, and maybe with pizza. Why we procrastinate. The brain's trickery. So, why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we binge-watch documentaries about octopus emotions when we've got a deadline? Blame your brain. Your brain is a fan of instant gratification. It loves that quick, sugary, happy hit feeling. Do the dishes? Nah. Scroll TikTok for 40 minutes and laugh at cats falling off chairs? Yes. That's dopamine, the feel-good chemical. And procrastination is basically dopamine's sneaky little trap. See, when you're faced with a task that feels boring, scary, or overwhelming, your brain panics. It whispers, "What if we just don't?" And instead of doing the thing, you escape into a distraction, one that feels good right now, not later. It's not because you're lazy. It's because your brain is doing what it was designed to do, avoid discomfort and chase rewards. Unfortunately, that means emails get ignored, laundry becomes a mountain, and your future self ends up in full panic mode. But don't worry, now that you know your brain's playing tricks, you can outsmart it. And no, it doesn't involve deleting the internet. Just some clever mental rewiring and a little revenge on your own mental loopholes, recognizing your triggers. Before you fix a problem, you've got to know what's causing it. Procrastination isn't just a bad habit. It's a sneaky reaction to something deeper. Let's play detective. Are you procrastinating because you're tired, overwhelmed, or are you avoiding that task because deep down, you're afraid you'll mess it up? Boom. That's a trigger. Some of us are perfectionists in denial. We wait for the right mood or perfect time that magically never shows up. Others get bored easily. If the task isn't exciting, our brain hits the snooze button. And then there's fear. Fear of failure. Fear of success. Yes, that's a thing. If you succeed, people expect more. Yikes. Your triggers are like invisible tripwires. They sneak up and whisper, "Let's check the fridge again." Maybe the task disappeared, but here's the good news. Once you spot your triggers, they lose their power. You start thinking, wait, am I avoiding this because I'm scared or just tired? Boom, you're back in charge. It's not about fighting yourself. It's about understanding yourself. And then tricking your brain into playing on your team. The myth of motivation. Let's clear something up. Waiting for motivation is a scam. Seriously. Motivation is like that one flaky friend who always says, "I'm on my way," and then shows up next week. The truth? Motivation doesn't come first. Action does. We've been lied to. We think we need to feel like doing the thing before we do the thing. But what really happens is, you do something tiny, and your brain goes, "Whoa, we're doing it? Okay, let's keep going. Want to feel motivated? Fold one shirt. Write one sentence. Take one step. That's it. It's not glamorous, but it works. Stop waiting for a lightning bolt of inspiration. That's not how real humans operate. That's how Disney characters do it. Real life? You start before you're ready. And guess what? That's when the magic shows up. Practical tips to break the cycle. Okay, enough talk. Let's get into real tricks to outsmart your procrastination brain, without needing to become some productivity robot who wakes up at 5 a.m. to meditate with a hawk on a mountain. Tip 1. The 2-minute rule. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. Not after lunch, not later tonight. Not when Mercury is in retrograde. Now send the email. Wipe the counter. Reply to that message from your aunt who only texts in all caps. Once you start, you'll often keep going. It's a psychological Jedi mind trick. Use it. Tip 2. Time blocking. Treat your tasks like a Netflix schedule. Episode 1. Clean inbox. Episode 2. Cry in a productive way. Give each task a slot in your day. When time's up, move on. You don't need a planner, just a timer and a little discipline. Okay, a lot, but we're working on it. Tip 3. The Pomodoro method. Work 25 minutes. Break for 5. Repeat. Every 4 cycles, take a longer break. It's named after a tomato timer because, yes, a tomato changed people's lives. It keeps your brain from burning out and makes even boring tasks feel like a game. Tip 4. Prep your launch pad. Before you go to sleep, set out everything you need to start strong the next day. Laptop? Plugged in. To-do list? Visible? Snacks? Absolutely. Make it stupidly easy to start in the morning. No thinking required. Tip 5. Create friction for distractions. Put your phone in another room. Block your guilty pleasure websites. If needed, duct tape your remote to the ceiling. Okay, maybe don't do that. The harder it is to escape into distractions, the more likely you'll actually get stuff done. Remember, productivity isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the right things and getting out of your own way. And if you fall off track, that's fine. We're not robots. Just reset and keep going. Trick yourself into starting. So, how do you start when your brain is curled up like a grumpy cat that refuses to move? Easy. Lie to yourself. Gently. Tell yourself, I'm just going to do this for 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes isn't scary. 5 minutes is how long it takes to eat a sandwich, or scroll past 37 memes, or reconsider all your life choices in the shower. The trick? Once you start, momentum kicks in. You've lured your lazy brain into the productivity pool. And surprise, the water's fine. Or, try this. Pretend you're already productive. Put on focus music. Wear your smart person glasses, even if they're fake. Sit at your desk like you've got a plan. Your brain might go, wait, are we actually doing this? Yes. Brain. Yes, we are. Another hack? Use future you guilt. Picture tomorrow you, annoyed that today you watched 3 hours of Blender reviews on YouTube. Don't betray future you. They're counting on you to not binge TikTok until your soul leaves your body. Starting is the hardest part, but once you do, you're rolling. Just trick yourself long enough to press go. Build new habits, slowly and sneakily. Forget giant leaps. Forget overnight success. Small habits are where the real power lives, like ninjas in pajama pants. The secret? Make your new habit so tiny your brain doesn't notice it's doing something useful. Want to read more? Start with 1 paragraph a day. Want to work out? Do 1 push-up. Yes, just 1. Your brain won't panic. It'll be too confused to argue. This is called habit stacking. Attach a small habit to something you already do. After I brush my teeth, I'll write 1 sentence. After I make coffee, I'll open my to-do list. After I cry dramatically into my pillow, I'll send that overdue email. Okay, maybe not that last one. Or maybe yes. The point is, you don't need motivation. You need structure that feels easy. And when you do something small every day, it becomes a pattern. Patterns become habits. Habits become your autopilot. And suddenly, you're that person who actually gets stuff done and doesn't panic every Sunday night. Sneaky? Yes. Effective? Absolutely. Slow progress is still progress. And honestly, it's the kind that sticks. Mindset shift. From I have to I choose to. Let's talk about that annoying little voice in your head that says, ugh, I have to do this. Nope. Stop right there. You don't have to do anything. You choose to. Big difference. You're not being dragged through life by a to-do list with a whip. You're making decisions. Adult decisions. Terrifying, I know. Instead of saying, I have to write this boring report, try, I choose to write this so I don't get fired and end up living in a van by a river. Instantly more empowering. Or, I choose to clean the kitchen so future me doesn't cry over crusty spaghetti sauce tomorrow. This little shift changes everything. It puts you in control. Instead of making life feel like a long list of annoying chores assigned by the universe. And when you mess up, don't shame yourself. Get curious. Ask, why did I avoid that? Sometimes the answer is fear. Sometimes it's just because I'm a human and I was tired and nachos exist. That's okay. You're not a failure. You're a work in progress with Wi-Fi. Now take back the wheel, the power of the environment. Want to stop procrastinating? Make it hard to procrastinate. Seriously, your environment is either helping you or sabotaging you with snacks, clutter, and 47 open browser tabs. Start with your desk. If it looks like a paper tornado had a meltdown, clean it. A tidy space tells your brain, hey, we're professionals now. Even if you're still in pajamas. Need to focus? Use noise-canceling headphones, or ambient sounds, or pretend you're in a cafe in Paris. Your choice. There's even lo-fi beats to trick your brain into doing taxes. Google it. Place your phone out of reach, or better, out of sight, because if you see it, you'll touch it. And if you touch it, you'll somehow end up watching a 2007 documentary about cheese. Change your space. Change your behavior. Set the stage for focus, and your brain will follow the script. Progress. Perfection. Let's be honest. Perfectionism is just fancy procrastination in a tuxedo. You tell yourself, I'll start when I have the perfect plan, the perfect tools, the perfect mood. And suddenly it's 2043, and you still haven't written that blog post. Here's a better idea. Aim for done, not perfect. Perfection is a moving target. Progress? That's real. That's measurable. It's messy, a little awkward. But hey, so is life. Think about it. Every masterpiece started as a rough draft. Every fit person started with one weird-looking push-up. Every stick figure animation you love probably began as a shaky doodle. So stop waiting to be amazing. Be average and consistent. That's way more powerful than being a genius who never starts. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin and keep showing up, ugly first drafts and all. Closing motivation boost. Here's the truth. You're not lazy. You're just stuck. And being stuck doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. But the good news? Stuck isn't permanent. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You just need to do one small thing today. One action. One win. One step forward. It might not look impressive to the outside world, but to you, it's momentum. It's proof you're moving again. So don't wait for some magical future version of you to fix everything. Be that person now. One tiny, messy, glorious action at a time. Still here? Then congrats. You just procrastinated on procrastinating. That's growth. Now do future. You a favor, like, comment, and subscribe if any part of this video called you out. And tell us in the comments, what's the weirdest thing you've done to avoid doing real work?